What's up, Pursuit Nation? It's your president, KHD59 Gaming here, and today we are in a brand new league, the UPC, the Unbanned Pokemon Classic. We are a part of Season 5, and this is going to be my draft analysis for this league. Before I get into the analysis, I'd like to thank a couple of people. I'd like to thank Bash for helping me get into this league. He's a big part of the league and helps out the commissioner, and he's also a friend of mine. He's helped me build in my front office, and he's been a big part of it for the past couple months, so shout outs to him. Also, big thanks to Honor and Oak for having me be a coach this season. I'm very excited to be, and I hope I have a lot of fun, and you guys too. So without further ado, before I keep saying this because I don't plan out my videos, but this draft was different from what I've always done. It wasn't tiers, it wasn't points, and it wasn't even a free draft. We did an auction style draft where basically, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. You auction off mons. So there were like 50 to 55 mons every day up for bid, and yeah, you can bid on them starting at like a certain price, and you can go up. I think with this kind of draft, it's a lot of fun. It keeps people active and at each other's throats. And also, one thing I do have to know, I do want to say this publicly because I'm a dumbass and I like to be jubilant about it. I went to go bid on Ditto, and I wanted to put 70 points, and I accidentally put 700, and I was in call with everyone, and they just fucking lost it. It was great. But yeah, I've gotten to know some of the UPC coaches so far, and I can't wait to play them, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. But as fun as this draft was, I did terrible with it. I just went stealing mons from people left and right. And also, I was done drafting by day 5, and this was a 10-day draft, so good job, me. This wasn't exact. I should have gone by a draft plan. I didn't really make a draft plan. I just kind of wanted to get whatever came up. But I did. I still think I came away with a decent team, but a little bit of a spoiler. It's a little too hyper offensive for my taste, but I'm gonna give it a try. So the first one I ended up grabbing was Infernape. Infernape is going to be one of my Z-Move users. Well, Z-Move users in this league, it isn't a specific amount, and it isn't technically free. But what it is for the amount of points you won for that mon, you have to pay 10% to allow it to use Z-Moves. So with Infernape, I believe I won it for 150 or something like that. So it's going to be 20 points. So now getting into Infernape, this thing is an absolute offensive monster. 108 speed to start it off is amazing. 104 in both attacks with Swords Dance and Nasty Plot. It's amazing, this thing. I mean, it's relatively frail, but it's not that bad. It also does get some nice utility moves like Fake Out, U-Turn, Stealth Rocks. Then I listed some of its coverage. Well, its main stab on both ends are actually pretty high base power. And then it has its main coverage is like Earthquake and like Thunder Punch on the physical side, and then like Grass Knot and Hidden Power on the special side. And one thing I forgot to put here because I'm once again a dumbass, Mach Punch, because that's one of the main things Infernape is known for, is being a stab Mach Punch user. Well, most Pokemon that get Mach Punch are fighting types, except for Magmortar, but you know, Mach Punch Magmortar. Like to see somebody bring that in a serious battle. Anyway, two good abilities in Blaze and Iron Fist. With Blaze, I think benefits Infernape more than some of the other starter Pokemon, is in which Infernape is going to be taking a lot of recoil from like Flare Blitz and stuff like that. It also gets worn down by like rocks and stuff. So like it can actually be pretty easy to get Infernape in Blaze range and then just power up that Flare Blitz or that Fire Blast, so that's always good. And then Iron Fist is good because it does get a lot of punching moves. It gets Mach Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, stuff like that. Well, Fire Punch is an option if I don't want to take all the recoil damage, but that's that. So yeah, Infernape is there. So next I decided, this is still day one, by the way. And I forgot to mention this is an Ubers League, if you couldn't tell, with the Mega Metagross and the Unbanned being in the name, but that's that. I went with a Azumarill, also going to be a Z Captain for Z Belly Drum. Three pretty useful abilities, but the main one's going to be Huge Power, doubling its attack stat to from 50. With full investment, it'll be around like 150 with it's around 150 when doubled, 150 base with all the investment and stuff like that. Thick Fat can be good if I need like a super mega Mamoswine switcher. I'm just kidding, no. I'm probably not going to use Thick Fat that much, but Sapsipper I can use that if I want to trap different mons. But yeah, its main move pool includes Belly Drum. Aqua Jet's a main part because it gives me a second form of stab priority. I have Liquidation for my stronger water stab, Play Rough for my main fairy stab, and then other coverage like Ice Punch, Knockoff, Superpowers, things of that nature. And then I also have Perish Song and Whirlpool for the Perish Trap set. And now what Azumarill does for me is it takes away one thing that resists Infernape's dual stab, and it can also depending on the water type, can break it with the Play Rough to make Infernape's life quite easy. Infernape can deal with steel types that Azumarill doesn't generally like Ferrothorn. Let's say I don't want to really run Superpower and I want to just have Belly Drum, Aqua Jet, Liquidation, and Play Rough. That could be an option. So I like the potential these two can have together. So next, this I just forgot because I'm a dumbass, but I can still see it working. I ended up getting Purugly. Now Purugly with the 112 base speed actually really surprised me, which is really surprising. It has Thick Fat, so there we go. And second Thick Fat user, so I have technically three ice resists already. And then I have On Tempo, which is just like probably not the best ability I'm gonna use for it, but I can see it working. And then Defiant can be very useful if I want to defog block, parting shot block, things of that nature. It does get Fake Out, U-Turn, Knockoff, and Super Fang. You can see all the utility that it gets, and I was actually really surprised about that. It does get Taunt. It's a pretty fast Taunt user at 112 base speed. I mean, it's not the bulkiest thing in the world, but it could be like a Focus Sash lead if I really wanted it to be, if I wanted to stop rocks from getting up, stop like webs or something like that. The 82 attack with Defiant can actually be terrifying when I'm at +2. So that's good to know. And then has Quick Attack for stab priority, so third form of priority. Not that I'm bringing Purugly every week, but we're probably going to see Infernape and Azumarill a lot more on the battlefield than Purugly, but I'll try to get Purugly in there. Play Rough is also good coverage, and then Hone Claws if I just want to be a full-on meme. Oh my god. So next, I made another dumb move, but the thing is, I already traded this mon away. I actually don't know if I get it for week 1 or not. I don't think it'll really matter, but I stole a Alolan Raticate just to piss off Bash, and then he was just like, nah, take it, screw you. Looking at my team post-draft, I picked up a mon that I felt would fulfill something I was missing, and that was Articuno. Articuno I've had a lot of success with in the past. Back in CBL Season 2, it was actually like I got like a Z Hail Sweep at some point, and like I ran like choice specs. It can also be a very bulky bird because look at these base stats. They're insane. You got 90 HP and 100 defense and 125 SPDF. Fun fact. I did this while just screwing around, but max HP, max SPDF, Calm Articuno lives a timid max attack power gem from Nihilego. You think I'm lying? Do ya? Because I'm not. Not that I'd say I'd ever run this as a Nihilego check, but still. It can be a very fat mon if built correctly. Of course, that 4 times weakness to Stealth Rocks is really gonna hurt. But this Articuno does give me that first hazard remover and defog. I have a Haze user. I have a Cleric with Heal Bell. It does get reliable recovery and Roost, phasing in Whirlwind, Agility if I want to be a little bitch. Then it also gets Blizzard and Freeze Dry. Good general stab for that matter. So that ends day 1. I took 4 mons on the first day with 9 days to go. Doing great, Ryan. So day 2 rolls around, and I started thinking of other mons I might want to put on this team. But looking at my team so far, it's relatively frail. So I wanted to get some bulkier mons on my team. So the first bulky mon that I saw that I really wanted was Pelosand. Pelosand with the water compaction ability is pretty nice because it raises its defense stat by 2. It becomes pretty bulky. The ground ghost type is interesting as well. One of the rare typings in the game. I believe only it and Golurk have it. Well, obviously minus Golett and Sandy Gas, but on mons. So this will be my second Stealth Rock user, a defensive Stealth Rock user. Has reliable recovery and shore up, and then I can use like Earth Power and Shadow Ball for main stab. There's not many moves that Palisand runs, but I didn't want to put like Toxic there because like that's like not unique at all. And then like Amnesia if I want to raise Spadef at all, I might want to do that at some point. And then I have Trick if I want to get rid of like specs or something, like if I want to lock like a certain fat mon into a move, I can do that as well. So that's an option. Nickname's gonna be Wildwood because Wildwood, New Jersey. It's a beach down the shore, and I believe they also have like a haunted house theme ride down there. So I guess that kind of fits the theme a little bit. So at the 6th mon, I saw this, and I see my Azumarill there, and I feel like this would be a good steal for my team. So I went with Mr. UPC himself, Metagross. Not Mega Metagross. That would be fun if I had Mega Metagross, but too bad. Anyway, Metagross can be a very bulky mon as well. Has the clear body ability, which means it like ignores, intimidates, and sticky webs and stuff like that, which I think is really good for my team as well. 135 attack is incredible, along with the 130 defense is really good. 70 with a decent speed tier, and it also gets agility. I don't know if I'll be running agility, but it's another Stealth Rock user on my team, so it's like a bulky offensive Stealth Rock user I have access to. There's Meteor Mash, so I have that gutting for me. I have Zen Headbutt as my other main stab, and then other coverages like Elemental Punches, Earthquake, Rock Slide. This thing also gets Pursuit, so if I want to get some hashtag double the powers flash off, I have that option as well. And there was one more thing I wanted to say about Metagross, but I forgot what it was. Great. So this was the end of day 2. So half my team. I already have half of my team after 2 days with 8 days to go. So with that being said, on to day 3 we go, and I believe I only went after 1 mon this day. I actually forget what's next. Oh, Mega Sceptile. There we go. So Mega Sceptile, incredible speed tier, 145 base speed, great 145 special attack, and 110 physical attack. The ability Lightning Rod allows it to absorb electric hits, so that gives me a second electric immunity that's not necessarily so I maybe don't have to bring Palisand to Volt Block every time. Is also weak to ice. This also completes my Dragon Fairy Steel Core as well. It does get access to Swords Dance, so I can Swords Dance, Leaf Blade, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, whole bunch of stuff. If I want to be mixed, I can go work up. Mega Sceptile has a pretty fun move pool, and I'm really excited to use it. I'm also very hyped to see how it does in Uber's league, where most of the mons compared to its speed, where in a normal draft league, it's mainly known for its speed. So, an interesting fact there. And another interesting fact, its nickname is Jonathan Drouin because Jonathan Drouin is a NHL player that holds the record for fastest skater. Not fattest skater, Jesus. Fastest skater in the NHL All-Star competition. There we go. So I have my Mega Sceptile, and so far it and Palisand are my only ice weaknesses, and I kind of made a dumb genius play, in my opinion. It went with Zygarde 10. Yes, gives me another 4 times ice weakness, but I feel like I have the resistances to cover it if I'm not mistaken. 115 base speed, another really fast mon, with 1,000 arrows being one of the more spammable moves in the game. I really like Infernape beside this Zygarde because Infernape can weaken grass types for Zygarde to clean late game with either a Choice Band or a Dragon Dance set. And then because Zygarde's main form of Dragon Stab is Outrage, so Zygarde 10 is also one of my Z captains. I forgot to put that on there, but yeah. I can run Dragonium Z on this thing, and I'm really excited about that because it'll make it a lot easier as a sweeper on me. It does get priority and extreme speed. I am very happy about how much priority this team gets as well because I have, 5 forms of it right now. Because Metagross is Bullet Punch, Purugly, the Unmon has Quick Attack, and then Aqua Jet and Mach Punch. So, yeah, I'm really liking the Zygarde there, and even though it's not the very bulkiest, you can still see it working out. So I believe that's day 3, and now day 4 rolls around, and I get Alolan Persian. I think Alolan Persian is going to be absolutely crucial to this team, and here's why. I said at the beginning of this video it was a hyper-offensive draft, meaning it's not going to be very defensive at all, and the parting shot support is going to be really crucial, allowing, mons like Infernape and, Mega Sceptile to take hits a little bit better. So, yeah, and then Alolan Persian gives me, a 4th Fake-Out user? No, 3rd, I think. Yeah, 3rd. It gives me more knockoff utility, which my team has a good amount of right now. So that's good. And then Taunt if I want to get cheeky. And then U-Turn if there's Soundproof or something like that. Or Clear Body. I always have that in the back of my mind to be able to use. And Mr. Cat, shout out to Kid vs. Cat, the best cartoon... the best Disney XD cartoon in the late 2000s. I know nobody knows what it is, but it holds a special place in my heart. No offense, Phineas and Ferb, but you were still on Disney Channel back then. Alright, now that we're done roasting cartoons, back to this draft analysis. So next, I decided to grab Zapdos on day 4. And now Zapdos gives me a little bit more bulk, which I'm proud of. So, Zapdos also gives me my Electric type, and also gives me another Ground immunity, which Ground isn't the biggest issue for my team, but as long as it's not relatively spammable, it's good. So, having 2 immunities and 1 resistance at this time is really good. More of its bulkier sets rely around Subtoxic and Sub-Roost, and then it has both forms of Volt Turn, so I have that gutting for it. I can run Discharge if I want to get Parahex. It's Heat Wave for coverage and stuff like that, and it gets Agility because I've ran Agility Zapdos in a league before, and it worked out pretty well, so that's there as well. The last 2 months, you notice here that I don't have any Ubers, right? Going into day 5, I'm going to grab both of my Ubers. And I grabbed Deoxys Attack as my first one. You see these stats, and remember how I said hyper offensive? Yeah. I'm very excited to use this thing. I've wanted to use it in a draft league for a while, so it can be like a suicide lead. Like it could be like a better Azel if it gets Stealth Rock, Taunt, Explosion, stuff like that. Also spikes, and it also gets set up, but I don't expect to run setup unless I know like there's gonna be a switch out involved. But also Psycho Boost, great move, and it didn't get nerfed in Gen 6, so it still has that extra 10 base power, which is really crucial in my opinion. Another knockoff user, very important to me that I have knockoff utility because I just hate mons like P2 and Piloswine. They can just get away with being a Violite. But yeah, 150 base speed. I have something that outspeeds Mega Sceptile. Damn. I do have a lot of speed on this team, and I'm really glad with it because in my mind, a hyper offensive team has to be very fast, or it's just not a good hyper offensive team. But yeah, that's gonna be it for Deoxys Attack, and the final mon in this draft will be Magearna. So Magearna is going to give me a little bit more bulk on that backbone. It's very good bulky offensive mon with the Steel Fairy typing. It can be Shift Gear, Trick Room, and it gets a buttload of coverage. You can see it right there. It gets 115 on both defenses, which makes it a relatively good pivot. Soul Heart, really good ability. It's Moxie for special attack. And then 65 speed is okay. But it's really good. It's a good range for where it gets Shift Gear and Trick Room because, like, Shift Gear, I believe with 65, you have to have, like, 100 base speed Scarfer to be able to outspeed Magearna at +2 or something around that range. And then Trick Room, it's actually a decent Trick Room speed range. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Like, it's not fucking Trick Room Mega Gardevoir because that set's terrible. Don't at me. And then that's pretty much it for Magearna, and my nickname is Guy Lafleur because Fleur Cannon, Guy Lafleur, I'm so funny. Go Canadians. That's gonna be it for my UPC Season 5 Draft Analysis. I feel like I've roasted enough people in this video, so hope you guys enjoy it. The UPC will be starting up next week. And you should also be seeing my KPL Season 2 Week 7 battle going up this week as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon. Peace out.